How we doing?
Good.
All right, good. Well, it was good to get back in full pads today. Went out there and right away got into our fundamental work, talking about tackling drills, turnover circuits, making sure we're putting the ball away, making sure we're trying to knock it out every opportunity, and at the same time making sure we're focusing on tackling. And we really invested in the rugby tackling form, which is something that I think a lot of teams around the country have gone to for safety reasons and also for securing tackles. I mean, it's something that in college football it shows up on tape a lot. The fact that there's a lot of opportunities to make defenders miss and create big plays. Well, we've got to create big plays on the offensive side, but we've got to be able to defend them on the defensive side now. And then at the end of practice, we went situational ball. We went red zone, play it. We went move the ball, play it. We went full blitz. 18 straight plays of blitz, both in the run game and the pass game. And the situation for today was put the ball at the 15-yard line, 15 seconds on the clock, 1st and 10, need a touchdown to win. And, it was neat the way the guys responded. And we had instructed them, hey, this is our MO in this situation, so they know what to expect and what to do, whether the ball gets thrown out of bounds, whether the guys tackled inbounds. It was a very productive period, so overall, some really good work today.
How are you going from fall camp to game prep? What's that do over the next few days?
We're still in fall camp. We are. We won't go to game prep into the weekend, quite honestly. We still have some things that we want to work out, that we need to work out, and we feel it's still too early to go full bore into what we're going to see on game day. Now, mind you, there's a lot of carryover to what we do on both sides of the ball to what we're going to be seeing. And if you're ruled up and if you are sound in how you teach it conceptually, we feel just very strongly about preparing like that. So,
you talked about even with the new NCAA redshirt process, you still want your freshmen to earn that playing time. How far along are you kind of in the process?
Selecting who's going to play? We'll have a pretty good idea by Friday. We'll have a pretty good idea by Friday who deserves to play. But at the same time, this redshirt rule affords the opportunity to make this a true developmental squad. And I think that should be a tremendous incentive for everybody, freshmen across the country. This is no longer, hey, you're going to scout team, and I know what that's like now, all right? Put yourself in my shoes, 230 pounds at Miami. Hey, you're a scout team guard, and you got to block Cortez Kennedy and Russell Maryland and those types, right? A lot of fun. Right? I used to be 6'7", and they shrunk me down by boom, knocking me back. So now it's different with this kind of scenario now, with this type of these new rules that are in play. These guys have every day as an opportunity to prove themselves and gain ground towards being a player and a contributor on this football team. So it's a win-win situation for everybody.
With Cyrus's size and explosiveness, does he remind you of any running backs you coach, or maybe any former Oregon running backs?
He's a big dude. He's a big dude. He probably has a better personality than anyone I've been around, so that's for sure. Cyrus has got power, he's fast, he's got really good hands, very instinctive player. He's played defense, so he's all over the field on special teams. He's going to be a really good player for us. Does he remind me of guys? He reminds me of a lot of different guys. He's kind of like the salad bowl, all mixed up in one. But he has had a really good camp. He really has, so we expect him to have a really good year.
And he's got the dance moves too.
He does. He's got. He started that deal with that little. It's Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids do that all the time. They made me. Back when I grew up, it was a Cabbage Patch, right? You don't see that anymore. Now it's that Fortnite dance. So I'm not going to do either one on camera. So don't worry about it. We're good, brother. We're good.
Does it feel like that two deep's coming together now?
That two
deep, your depth chart.
Yeah, I think it's been building. I think it's been in process for a while. I think there's several guys on the threes that are pushing for time, and I think that's great. And I also think there's several positions that you just can't close out right now. There's several positions where you see this, man, this is a co-starter situation where some guys got to prove just a little bit more than the other to take the first snap of the game. I think several guys have proven the fact that they can play and that they will play, but we still have some positions that require a little bit more to determine who starts and takes place.
Were you in on any of the conversations with scheduling that Georgia game and thoughts about having a program like that on the schedule?
Well, I mean, it's what you come to Oregon for, and I think it speaks loudly about our administration and the fact that we want to be on the big stage at an unbelievable venue. For those that have seen it, that's a great place against the University of Georgia. Is obviously one of the top teams in the country. Familiar with the guys that are over there, as a matter of fact. So for us, it's just a tremendous opportunity and something that I think we're showing the way we're scheduling that we want the challenge. We want to go find out where we are as a program as we continue to develop the program.
That being said, you don't have a game like that on the schedule this year in the non-conference. How do you approach that with your team, and what do you want to get out of this year's non-conference?
I know things change when there was a buyout with a particular team or whatnot. I still think it comes to this. We're ambassadors of the game, and you respect the game, and I've heard different comments about the schedule or whatnot. All I know is this: football teams have the same amount of guys as we do, and they're all working just as hard. And I've been on the side of non-Power 5 schools, and I've been on the side of the underdog as well. And I know the energy and the time spent to prepare for a game like this. So for us, we have a lot of reason, all right, and a lot of motivation to play some really good football teams that we have the ultimate respect for.
What have you seen out of the defensive line in terms of their progression in the last 5-6 days here?
Yeah, I think two guys that have really stood out, because you know about the Austins, you know about Jordan, and obviously Jalen and these guys, and Justin Hollins, who plays outside linebacker, but our packages kind of slip them in there as well. But two guys that really stand out are Drayton Carver, okay, and Gary Baker. I mean, these guys have really changed their bodies. They have bought just full bore into the weight room. Gary's he's a svelte 320 or whatever, he's 315. Gary's up to about 285, 290 pounds. They're both bending well, they're coming out of their hips, they're knocking back, blockers. They have done an exceptional job becoming part of the mix here, and they're going to make a tremendous difference.
So when you're in a scrimmage and you're seeing your defensive line, your offensive line performing well against the other, is that a function of a struggle on one side, or one side performing exceptionally well?
That's such a trick question, man. I coach the O-line. I mean, what do you want me to say? I'm happy that an O-lineman gets blasted. I got to pretend that I am, right? But I think if your team is not exchanging series or days, if it's dominated by one side, I think you have a problem. I do. I mean, that spells and smells like, wow, one side is way better than the other. You see a lot of back and forth in our team. So the level of competition and the mentality of iron sharpens iron has taken some meat and some teeth in our program, and I think you're seeing that on a daily basis. So, we don't sugarcoat anything. I mean, we're very real in our approach. Our guest speakers do a great job being real, and brother, we have work to do, and we're doing it where it needs to be done, especially in the trenches. There's progress, there's advancement, and we're gaining ground at where we need to be. Not there yet, but we're gaining chunks, and we just got to keep pushing that mentality.
What were the takeaways from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2 for you?
The reduction of penalties was number one. I thought just processes that need to be in place, now are a little bit better. Wasn't happy with the way we started, and when we say start fast, I don't mean it's got to be an 80-yard touchdown, or on defense you got to get sack, fumble, return it. I just mean the energy and the level of urgency has got to be at a certain right, a certain height, certain level, because things aren't always going to go our way, and we know that. But it can't be a matter of you not being completely mentally dialed in, and I think sometimes when you start a certain part of your practices, when the ones go against the twos, there might be a little bit of a mental, you can't have that, because those twos are fighting for jobs as well, all right, and that kind of mentality will get you beat, and it gets you beat every single Saturday in college football. College football used to have one upset every 5 weeks, right? Now you have 5 every week, okay, and it's because people are getting better at developing, and people are getting better players on their roster, so there's no letdown.
Can you explain who those positions are that you said are still in battles and need more time to figure out?
Oh gosh, I think at every position just about. I know at the offensive line position, the right guard and the tackle position, we're mixing and matching everybody in there. And it's paying dividends, because you're getting guys a tremendous amount of versatility work. Calvin Throckmorton has played every position on the offensive line, okay? So that guy right there is, there's a lot of value to that guy right there. On the defense line, we spoke about those guys. At the linebacker spot, I mean, Keith Sims has been good inside and good outside. Isaac Slade has proven that he's going to be a great player here. Lon is back, right? Adrian Jackson has showed a bunch of stuff. The versatility of Jalen Jelks helps us out. I mean, I probably ought to type up a report so I don't keep you guys out here all day, but you're seeing a lot of stuff going on. I mean, you see Javon Holland, man, he's pushing. That guy's pushing. That guy's a good football player, and he's wired the right way. He's got that DNA, and when he goes and he triggers, he goes. And it's like I tell, like if my son could tell on tape, like it pops like, wow, that's a good football player. You've got to, when players are playing well, they're trying to tell you something. They're ready. We got to listen to them.
Speaking of those penalties, what do you think has been working and helping to reduce those?
Well, until we go live, we're going to hold judgment on that, right? But it starts with the summer. It starts with the strength and conditioning department. Discipline is not only refraining from doing something you want to do. It's it's also doing something that you're supposed to do. You don't really want to do it. And for example, today, Daywood, great example, because Daywood Davis has had a really good camp. I mean, a really good camp. we got a ball that spits for 60, right? And just for whatever reason, half placement's on the wrong side, corner cuts to the ball, and he just, for a split second, just yanks him. A touchdown's coming back. You're not getting that play back, you know? And so there's still enough showing up where you still have to continue to work, and I guess you never stop working it, but the attention to detail and all the little things that we do from the way we tuck in our shirts when we go out of practice. And you see all our coaches, I mean, we have our shorts almost pulled up to our chest, right? You hear the fresh tuck, right? You know, gloves on, making sure equipment, knee pads over your knees. It's just a way of life is what we're trying to establish that should and must carry over to the way we play.
So the teaching moment for Day was today.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, and that being said, the guy, I mean, you saw him out there. Oh, you guys didn't get to see him. You guys were outside. I keep forgetting that stuff. But the guy's playing. He's playing his tail off. He really is. And, but he knew it. Like, he came right over. He gave me the play-by-play. You know, like we're gonna take it easy on him, right? You know, it's but he was guys like that continue to improve, and we use those teaching moments to help our team.
What's been Tabari's kind of grade? He was hurt a little early.
Who's that? I'm sorry?
Tabari Hines. He was
Yes,
hurt
sir.
early, and now he's kind of, he said, took some mental reps, and now he's gotten some work with the ones. Where you seen him come through camp? And
I think now you're seeing him get more into a groove. And what I mean by that, you know, he got here after not being with the team. That's tough, right? And then he got here, and then he hurt himself, so he couldn't work out with the team. And then we just threw him out there in practice. Hello, you know? It doesn't matter how many games you play, what year you are. That's tough. That's really tough. But his work ethic is admirable. He really is. He's a team guy. I mean, the guys that have brought him in and embraced him. And today he looked like his legs are getting underneath him again. And we expect him to be a really good player for us. Great battles. Those guys are getting after it now. They want the job. And more than that, it's not even that they want the job. They want to prove that, you know, if it's their turn to play and when it's their turn to play, that they're ready to win football games at Oregon. I think that's the best. No one's thinking about 2 or 3 on this guy, that guy. They're out to prove that when their snap time comes, that they're going to win football games for us. So, and they're doing a really good job convincing us.
After tomorrow, it's 10 days to game day. Is that when you're making the shift to start game planning and treat it like game week?
You know, unbeknownst to them, but I guess they'll know now, we incorporate periods that have stuff in there as it relates to our first opponent. So they've gotten a significant amount of work. Not only do our first 3 opponents, but our conference opponents as well. They're just built into our daily practices, 10, 12, 15 plays of, you name it, teams that run the spread option stuff will defend it. Teams that run 4 down, cross blitzes, will run plays against it. Protections, run game, you name it, all right? So we've gotten enough work on there. We're actually going to split up into scout teams by Wednesday. That'll be more Friday-ish.
You still intend to scrimmage then on Wednesday?
Sir?
Scrimmage again on Wednesday, is that still the plan?
The scrimmage on Wednesday, I think it's a little bit misleading that it is a scrimmage. We will have some scrimmage plays, but I'd say 3/4 of practice has got to be situational football before we go to scrimmage, and most of that'll be the 2s and the 3s.
What are you seeing from Panay?
Panay, it's a big, powerful guy, very athletic. He's very intelligent. I mean, there's probably the hardest position to play in the country, and this sport is the defensive line and the offensive line. He's intelligent. He's a hard worker. He's a relentless competitor. The guy's got a big future, and right now he's in the mix. Him and Brady and Capra and Dallas Warmack and George Moore. Those guys are all battling it out for a starting spot, and it is fun to watch now because every single day they have to be at their best because those magnets keep moving. You know, we got to find out which one's got to stay there for game 1.
Let's go.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.